What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Trust the Tape. Maybe. My name is Jeff. I forgot which button's which, so I'll hit them both.
My name is Jeff.
And say hello to former Cowboy Scout, Super Bowl winning scout with the Green Bay Packers, the great Bryan Broaddus.
Hey, Bri.
Hey, Bri.
Morning, Jeffrey.
We're going to talk about the NFL draft, if it's not too much trouble, Brian. Probably mostly the Cowboys, if it's not too much trouble for you.
Not a problem at all, sir.
I'm getting going. I'm excited. I'm getting a bunch.
Did you
guys watched?
Yeah. Did you kind of break down? I thought I saw a segment or a post thumbnail of you breaking down possibilities at 12 for the Cowboys. Is that
Probably.
was that something you? I think it was something here recently, so I didn't have a chance to click on it. Shame on me.
You know what? No, you probably read a headline that I made, but I wasn't talking about 12. I was talking about getting the hell out of 12.
Okay, let's go to 15. You want to go to 15 to Arizona and pick up?
I'll go back anywhere. I want to trade back.
I like
day.
Arizona. I like Arizona at 15, and I like Arizona at 15 because I'm going to pick up 78.
That sounds wonderful to me. Who they coming to get? Did you work that out? Doesn't matter.
See, the thing about it was that because if you go through Daniel Jeremiah's mock draft, see, because Daniel to me is,
let's pull it up.
Yeah, go and look at who he takes. So he's got Ashton Jeanty coming to the Cowboys, which most mock drafters do this time of year. There's a couple of them that have kind of focused on some different avenues, which is cool.
You ready to run Daniel Jeremiah's real quick?
Yeah, but just go through. Okay, just start at Jeanty at 12, and then look who behind the Jeanty picks are.
All right. Well, you got to know who's gone first. Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, Cam Ward, Will Campbell, Mason Graham.
No, they're all gone. They're all gone. Just
the people got to know who's gone. The people got to know who's gone.
No, they don't. It just focus who's still left on the board when you pick. That's all you have to do.
Tyler Warren, Ted McMillan, Michael Williams, Tyler Booker, Armand Membo, Ashton Jeanty at 12 for the Cowboys. Okay. And then the guys behind it, Kelvin Banks at 13.
Boy, that's 2 minutes I'm not going to get back in my life.
What? Going through the names? You don't think that it's relevant to the people watching to know who's not available for us to pick?
No, because you're going to talk about it. You're going to talk about it behind.
But I'm not going to talk about it behind because we're going to go, okay, we could get to 15 because look at these names that went. Would you like that guy?
Yeah, the names, if their names aren't there, they're already gone. Just focus on the names that are picked behind.
And then people are going to be like, well, why didn't you bring up so-and-so? And the answer is because they were gone, but you don't know that because I didn't tell you that. But now they know.
I'm sure people were like really excited about the Missouri tackle going right ahead of them.
Thank you for the coffee money, boy. You want to talk about a guy that me and the world are not aligned on? It's the Missouri tackle.
That's exact. I see, but you have to let everybody in the world know we had a chance to pick him at 12.
I think that's super relevant because I think that's one of the things that I
focus on who's behind.
Okay,
I focus on who.
We were getting along great. We were getting along great before we went on the air, and now you're getting snippy. And then I'm snappy.
No, I'm just saying that everybody, it's like just okay. You're taking Jeanty at 12 right now. You're taking Jeanty at 12. That's what he's got you taking.
Yep.
Now focus on the people behind it.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Like
right.
I know that Carter's gone. Every time Carter's gone.
Did you know Membu's gone and Tyler Warren's gone? Did you know that? Did you know Tyler Booker's gone? You think the people would just assume Tyler Booker was gone?
That helps. That absolutely helps. No. I mean, well, no, Tyler. I'm going to tell you this, man. I'm thinking that Jackson, the guard from Ohio State, who's tackle guard guy.
You think he could go in the top 11?
I think he's better than Booker.
I disagree, but that's fine. You want to fight? You want to tussle?
All good. All good. The fact that I could play him, I've seen him play very high level at guard, and I've seen him play very high level at tackle.
Yeah, I think he might have changed his career I think he might be a tackle now. This is the Ohio State guy who was a guard, but then they lost the left tackle and he moved to tackle. And after Abdul Carter baptized him in his first game at tackle, he went to work and started whipping people's ass.
Yeah. See that?
My arm's going off. It's time to do the show.
Okay. So Okay, now that you've told everybody, and thank you folks for watching, we really do appreciate you. Jeff appreciates you more than me, I guess, because I'm not going to give you all the information.
Yeah, I just want to make sure you have the context of our conversation. And Brian,
because somebody in the chat's going to ask, "Oh, can we have taken Carter?"
Correct. Well, not Carter. There's other names like Tyler Warren was up there. Michael Williams.
You wouldn't take Tyler Warren at 12, would you? The Penn State tight end.
We actually talked about this yesterday. I would not.
Okay.
But I do.
All right, let's focus on the guys that are on the board after 12.
But you're tearing the damn thing apart when it's worth acknowledging. No, I wouldn't. When Dane Brugler's new top 100 has him as the 10th player. Daniel Jeremiah has him going before 12. Like I think it matters to say that's not for me that early. That's not for me.
Who's this? Who are you talking about? What player?
Tyler Warren.
Oh no, Tyler Warren, yeah.
Penn State tight end. Like he's a really nice
prospect. He is. I was watching SMU last night.
He's gronky. He's a little gronky.
He is a little gronky. You're right about that.
We'll try to help you with Ollie Gordon once I've watched him, which I haven't, but I know that this year wasn't as good as last year. So I'm sorry for not having an answer for you on that one, but I'll get there. Hurry up, Jeffrey. Anyway. Wow, I will fight everybody.
Thanks,
you know what?
Thanks, Dad. Thanks. My dad's in the chat now. Thanks.
Your dad's in there?
No, my dad's 85 years old. My mom does watch our program though. She does love Trusted Tape. She's a big fan of Trusted Tape.
Hi, Mama Broaddus. So the Cowboys, Jeanty at 12, and then 13, 14, 15. Man, I'm going to go all the way to 16, 17, actually.
Yeah.
Kelvin Banks, the Texas left tackle.
Okay.
Jahdae Barron, the Texas corner.
Okay.
Will Johnson, the Michigan corner. Jalen Walker, the Georgia linebacker / pass rusher. Walter Nolan, the defensive tackle at Ole Miss. And then I would stop there because the other names aren't as appealing to me that come after that. Although Luther Burden is after that, so is Malachi Starks.
Okay.
Oh
wow.
Yeah. That's why I actually want to go back further, Brian. So my whole thing, my overall thing that I did the other night is if they took Ashton Jeanty, I'm okay. Yes. I think he's a wonderful player, and it's a weird draft, which opens up the possibility of taking somebody like Ashton Jeanty or for somebody to take Tyler Warren. If you think that the running back or the tight end, you feel really, really good about the player, the person, and you're super comfortable with that pick, I think this year is kind of uniquely suited to being able to feel good about making that pick because of how great I don't feel about the guys at the premium positions that you would be picking.
Preach, brother. Preach.
I'm okay with Jeanty. I'm even better with finding your way down to 18 to 20 and then taking, if I have an option of Luther Burden at 20, if I have an option of maybe Matthew, I'll let the receiver thing play out because if you're asking me to predict these guys' careers with confidence, I like Ted McMillan. I like Luther Burden. I like Emeka Ibuka. I feel the safest with him, actually. Matthew Golden, I like him. But if you just let that one play out, I'll take the third or fourth one. I'll let I'll let you try to be right, and I'll have an extra couple picks in the top 100.
Would you feel good about a Ibuka, which it's an Ohio State combo, Ibuka and Henderson, 1-2?
You're telling me I can't have Omarion Hampton, the North Carolina running back, because I like him better than Henderson.
Gone.
Okay, you're just gonna take him off the board for me?
Yeah.
There's so many running backs.
Oh,
once I don't take Jeanty in the first, whoever you try to make me take in the second, I'll be like, look, for the same reasons that we didn't take Jeanty.
There you go.
I'm gonna wait again.
There you go.
I'm gonna keep waiting, and then I'm gonna take somebody later. I'm gonna bring back Rico. The guy, here's my random guy that I really like that everyone seems to hate because he's not on anybody's rankings or he's like number 46,000. The Texas running back Blue is a freaking player. Jaden Blue's a player.
See why have I not? Yeah, why have I not
in the 6th round? Boy, I'm partying.
Yeah. It's funny. Oh, interesting here. I was just looking at the chat here. Josh Simmons told Brandon Thorne that his knee would be ready to go in April. That's a patella tendon, by the way. So we'll see what the
Hey,
doctor's
if
saying.
he's ready to go, he's back in the mix. I'll have him.
I absolutely. If team doctors around the league at the combine say that patella tendon injury, but I did talk to somebody when we were on the radio row there, Jeff, that said it was a pretty significant injury. So we'll see how it all plays. But okay, I just saw that. That's caught
Here's
my
the guy
eye.
trying to get us. Here's the guy trying to get me to fight people who aren't here. Dane said Membu is without a doubt better than Kelvin Banks. I will tell you to your face, Mr. Chat Man. I didn't hear Dane say that. He might not have said that.
Yeah.
Dane's wrong. How about that? How about I just tell him he's wrong to his face that's not even here? And I have no idea if he even said that. Now we'll do another one.
You know that'll get back to him, though. You know that'll get back.
Vach is as low on Jalen Walker as Pro Football Focus. Vach is wrong. Anybody can come get some if they want some. Anybody.
What did I do to you, man? What did I do to you today? What did I do to you? You're such a
Football Focus had Jalen Walker as
such
their
a loving soul.
Jalen Walker was Pro Football Focus like eighth best player. They didn't update. He's 52.
Me and Botch did a show the other night where he and I went, and I'm like, you don't understand, man. And he's like, but hey, some of these people, I mean, listen, you do the work. I am totally cool with argument and discussion. Totally
but that's
cool.
that's the in this, and it's the Dane phrase. And I'll always, that's the
Dane
draft.
in this draft.
So like, yeah, Jalen Walker. Let's do Jalen Walker real quick.
Yeah.
Would I take him at 12? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think he's one of my 5 best players. So when I watch the tape and then you have the notes that you have, and then you put them where you put them, and I put him in the first round, and my notes on him are probably as good as literally anyone in the draft. But
I agree. Yeah.
Then it's like you're watching all the other guys and you're like, okay, but there's the linebackers who are linebackers. There's the edge guys who are edge guys. And Jalen Walker does exist in this in-between space. And like, if there were other guys who were, Myles Garrett type, obviously would be ahead of him. If they're like the element of, do I know exactly what I'm doing with him? Makes it scary. Then I go back to my notes again, and my notes are just like, I love. And it's like, shit. Where does this go? And I really like him. But yeah, I can see the tweener world trade down and take Booker or Banks all day. I would do that all day.
Yeah.
All day. Can we fix Blue's fumble problem? I don't give a half a crap about a fumble. I just want you guys to know that. And what I mean by that is, yes, it's the easiest thing to fix ever. You just tell them to carry the football around campus all day and then stop putting the damn thing on the ground. Jadon Blue's a big play waiting to happen. That needs to be
you're absolutely right about that. Let me ask you this, Jeffrey. I tried to get you to take a wide receiver and a running back at 44.
Okay.
Are you open more to taking like the defensive tackle at 44? Do you have a plan for how you'd like to navigate those first two?
It depends and now we're playing the disaster game, and maybe it's just what I do in my brain.
You got to play the disaster game.
But I can draw up the scenario in my brain where the defensive tackle, I don't want at 12 if Mason Graham is gone.
Right.
And if I wait to 44, there's a lot of them that I like, but obviously there's different levels of like, I feel like I could get to 44 and go, oh shit, I lost the top 6 of them.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's like, ideally to me, it's a move around, do a lot of work and move around here if you want to manipulate this thing and get it right.
Sure.
But that requires people helping you out a little bit. And I would be willing, because a lot of people have too much pride with this stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you can't make that trade because you're losing the trade. I'll lose a trade all day if it gets me what I'm trying to do. Like, I don't have to get fair value back to move back and pick the exact guy that I want to pick and
that's
add a pick.
That's not a bad, you know what? I spent a career working on those numbers myself. A guy like Todd Williams in the Cowboy Room now, Adam Pacific, and those guys, everybody was working the numbers and trying to make it. If you lose by a little bit but get to where you need to be, the Cowboys lost big time in the Travis Frederick trade,
and they worked out great.
And it worked out fine.
They knew what they wanted. They got it.
They got Terrence Williams in the 3rd. They could have got a 2nd round pick, but
in theory, they couldn't.
But they couldn't get it. They had to bail, and so they got to where they needed. They accomplished what they wanted. They got out of the 18th pick and picked Travis Frederick, and good for them. Let me ask you this though, Jeff. Too. Okay, could I get you of a combination of Jeanty and Besh?
That works for me. I am currently having a the receiver group, there's just so many of them, and they're all just like different types of dudes.
Yeah, that's what's kind of
trying to
actually
get them
kind
in
of
the
fun.
Right order.
Yeah.
I think right now I would actually prefer if you gave me Jeanty and Jaden Higgins, Iowa State.
Oh, wow.
I think I would prefer Mr. 6'4", 215. And they're both like, they would both kind of play the same role, right? You're talking about a couple different guys that can play X. They just kind of do it in a different way.
Yeah. Please talk me off the ledge. Higgins, I respect the heck out of. Here comes the compliment sandwich. Get ready for this. But man, don't the Cowboys have guys that don't separate already?
Besh doesn't separate.
I think Besh separates a little bit better than Higgins. I don't know what Higgins is really going to run, Jeff. I mean, we're going to have to go to Ames, Iowa, and get him at 38 yards if we're going to have to time him at 38. Like, we're going to have to stand short of.
Same thing with Besh.
I don't think that Besh is.
They're both running a 4.5 flat.
I just think that Higgins. I just see Higgins like making like every contested catch, and that's good. But I just don't know, man. I mean,
I think you're describing them both. Like they do it in different ways, but it's not this. Like Besh is obviously shorter, so there's a different way that you're trying to win in the route, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But neither one of them is leaving a DB in the dust.
I just feel like that Besh his stride kind of gets him down the field a little better.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
No.
No, it does. Hey, okay. Well, okay. Then tell me, how about my guy then from Utah State? How about my guy from Utah State?
I don't think he's
Royals.
I'm such a big fan of the after catch guys, but I don't think Royals runs or separates well unless you give him the space.
How about I just get a big damn receiver to play opposite of CeeDee Lamb so you could do the things you want to do with CeeDee Lamb?
I know, but I think,
my gosh, you're going to tell me I need to take Tez Johnson over there is what you're going to tell me, right?
I think Royals is at his best doing CeeDee Lamb stuff. Like I think he's in kind of the Luther Burden Debo vein where his best thing is the and then I'm hard to tackle.
Yeah.
And it doesn't play as well trying to route dudes up unless he hits them with like a hesitation or a whatever. I like Royals too. Like my receivers are cluster F, dude. Here's your second into third round. Higgins.
Okay, so you got Higgins as the top of the second round.
No. Top second's Golden, and there's a receiver that I love that no one else is nearly as high on, and I'm fine with that too. Restrepo.
You know what? I watched Miami was playing. Who was I watching? I was watching a tackle. I was watching a offensive tackle, Jalen Rivers, who needs to be a guard, but Miami's got an offensive tackle that probably needs to play guard. And I was watching him last night, and Restrepo, like, he was crushing Louisville.
He's a monster. The dude's a monster. I don't know why people don't love him. I don't know.
Height, lack of.
He's gonna be a slot guy. But he's a slot guy. Like there's slot guy, and then there's slot guy who's better than that. And I think Restrepo is slot guy who's better than that because slot guy who's better than that isn't just running shoots and crossers, et cetera, et cetera. Like
sure.
He'll win that down the field too.
Restrepo, I totally understand what you're saying. I think that maybe some people, he's going to be a really nice player for somebody. You're absolutely right about that. Him or Tez, him.
I'm comfortably Restrepo over Tez, and I like Tez. Oh, hold on, let me knock out some super chats. They need a receiver most. If it has to be a first or second round pick or trade for DK Metcalf or Garrett Wilson. No Debo Cup, Diggs, Adams. I would love Garrett Wilson. The worst thing I heard so far this offseason was that the Jets were getting rid of Aaron Rodgers because I wanted Garrett Wilson. And without Aaron Rodgers there, Garrett Wilson may be happy to stay. He wanted away from Aaron Rodgers.
Sure.
We're going to find a wide receiver. We know we need one. I want Jeanty because I think he allows Hunter and Deuce to be dynamic role players. The number two receivers need.
Man, the thing about
Hunter and Deuce. Oh,
Hunter Lipke.
Lipke and
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have no hope on or Kansas.
I'm not banking on those guys. Look, if either one of them,
I mean, Hunter Lipke, I think is nice. Deuce Vaughn, I'm probably going somewhere else.
I'd like to apologize to Dro Nose. I'm not familiar with that player yet. And Jordan, the answer is Jalen Noel, the other Iowa State wide receiver. I like him too. I think he's a slot only, but I like Restrepo better because I think Restrepo, and maybe I'll end up wrong about this and Noel's going to like blow me away at the combine or something, but I feel like he is the I win this way and that way. And Restrepo, I win this way, that way, here after the catch, there. I think Restrepo's got more to it from the slot.
How about that? Terry Crow asked you about Restrepo over Savion Williams from TCU.
Savion Williams, I can acknowledge
you cooling. Are we all cooling on him a little bit?
I think it's just an obsession with what can be, and I can acknowledge
see him running the ball and stuff like that.
Yeah, I may be too high on him, but 6'5", 225.
I agree with you, man. I would not have one bit of problem with that kid.
No, and like he's not a route runner. He's not a finished product. He's not he's not even a real, like, I guess, wide receiver yet, or not a total one. But I mean, if you can't figure out how to do something with runs like that, runs through tackles, can make the spectacular catch, like that's on you. Like I can't believe that he's not a top 100 player.
Yeah.
What?
I know. I'm with you on that.
That's nuts to me. I would take him with the Cowboys' second pick and be like, figure it out. Yeah, I'd be happy with that. Even after KC coach hire. What does that mean? About Deuce. I don't think just because a coach came from a place where a guy went to college, it means that he's about to be your starting running back.
No, I don't. That we've kind of seen where that thing's probably going to go.
I don't think it's impossible that you get Tet McMillan. I'll tell you that. I don't think it's a good.
You know what? I've seen. Who was I think Chad Reuter and his mock draft had McMillan getting to Dallas at 12.
And I like Tet. I like all of these wide receivers. I'm like, yeah, I like him, and then I start to tear them down. So it's like, all right, maybe I need to go early on Tet or Burden or Ibuka or Golden, because the rest of them, I'm kind of like,
I would have no problem with Ibuka. I'd have no problem with Ibuka. I think he's going to be a hell of a pro. I absolutely. Let me ask you something, Jeff. Going back to the running backs real quick. Our colleague Zach Wolchuk, he feels like that by the time Dallas picks at 44, that you could be looking at a third-round running back because all the other running backs, the Johnsons, the Hamptons, those guys will be gone.
I think it just depends how you grade them. I mean, he thinks, like, I think it's very possible that you could take Amari on Hampton at 44 or Caleb Johnson.
But there's a chance.
Like, how do people value him? There's a chance maybe Travion Henderson's the second one off the board. I know.
See, I love Henderson. I have Johnson and Hampton above him, but I do have Henderson in the second round, and I have a group of guys in the third. But if you had to, if you mentioned this, if Dallas doesn't take Jeanty, do you think they're going to mess up the running back deal, or will they get a guy that will be serviceable?
I think it's possible without Jeanty, they mess it up. And by mess it up, which I don't care about that much, because all you cannot do is what they did last year. You can mess it up and be like, oh, crap, well, we can't take one here or there or whatever. And you can find a free agent, or you can trade for a guy. You can piece it together. Like at running back, I do believe that. Your plan just can't be, let's get a guy who should have retired 3 years ago. Like that can't be your plan. Do something better than that. They should sign Rico and then go draft. And that way, you're not having to do something. But I mean, I could do Quinshon Judkins in the third, the Ohio State, the bigger running back at Ohio State.
Sure.
And then when we get to all of our picks in the fifth or the sixth, grab the SMU kid, or if Blue from Texas is really that hated, grab him. And now I've got my hammer and I've got my big play guy, and we can go party. I can figure this thing out.
Sure.
I can figure this thing out. No, I said.
Have you looked at any offensive linemen? Any down the line offensive linemen, like potential third round guys you like?
I'm not that far on O-line. I finally watched the Oregon guy yesterday, and I really like him. Walker Barron are hybrid chess players. Birch Stewart are flexible, meaning not knowing where to play them. Think people might mix those two up. Oh no, I know how to play all these guys. I know exactly how to play all of these guys. Walker's just a unique build for an edge because he's kind of small. No, my offensive linemen are, let's see, bam. I have seen Will Campbell, Kelvin Banks, Josh Simmons, Booker, the Oklahoma guy, Jackson, the Ohio State guy, Connerly, Membu, Ursery, Milam, and that's it. So I've seen basically top 100 pick guy kind of guys.
So you haven't seen Bow, the Purdue kid?
Oh, is it just Bow? The M is silent?
Yeah, I think the M's
I
silent.
haven't seen him yet. By the way, if we're just out here to have hot takes and talk crazy to people, I like the Oregon tackle better than the Missouri guy that everybody now says is a top 10 pick. I like Oregon man better than Missouri guy, and I'm comfortable with it. So take that.
Good for
Enjoy
you.
it. Eat that.
Jeff, in the chat, they're asking, have you seen the kid from Boston College, the Edge?
Yeah, he's a nice bendy guy. 6'2", 248 is weird. 6'2", 248 and not powerful is weird. But I mean, yeah, there's a place in the top. He may be a first round pick. I would pick him in the second round. But yeah, there's a place for the super bendy, shifty, I rush the passer guy.
Have you seen Darius Alexander, the 3 technique from Toledo?
Of course I've seen Darius Alexander. You think you did what he did at the Senior Bowl and I didn't go watch him?
I was just curious about what you thought about him because I kind of like the player myself.
I put Darius Alexander is my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 DT8, top of the 3rd round at the moment. Thank you.
There you go. There you go.
No, I like him. I think the Senior Bowl helped him a lot because I watched him on tape, and the people I watched him against sucked at football, and so that's hard, right? And then it's like, okay, but Senior Bowl can make you feel a little bit better.
A little bit better.
Wins a lot on tape, and now he's out there getting dubs against guys who are going to play in the NFL. So, yeah, I think he's an option. Like 3rd. Do you have to go all the way up to the 2nd on him?
I think you can maybe grab him in the 3rd.
Okay.
But
I got him ahead of Deion Walker, the Kentucky guy that everybody really
likes. That's the thing. The Deion Walker one is the one that's kind of a strange one for a lot of people. To me, what about I'm not going to talk about Nolan because I think I'm talked out on him, but I'm with you.
Nolan's my guy.
Yeah, I know Nolan's your guy.
Nolan's my guy, but I don't want Nolan at 12.
See, that's
and I don't think I can have him at 44.
I don't think you get him at 44 either.
I can't take flash player at 12. But I am obsessed with the good plays because he can do stuff that no one else in this class I don't think can do. And if you could put it together, he's a monster. It's crazy. He could be a Devontae Smith type. No, Ibuka's weird. The whole draft is weird. Ibuka's weird. So Devontae Smith is fast, hellified separator, like totally different. You can line him up outside and you can go whip somebody. Like Emeka Ibuka he doesn't have the let's go, Jeff, break out your receiver vocabulary. He doesn't have the it's kind of bend it, and he wins by setting people up by knowing exactly what the hell he's doing.
Runs his routes at the same speed, man. He's kind of his speed is the same no matter what route he's running. So
catches everything, blocks his ass off.
I love Ibuka. There's something if you told me that he was there at 12, you know what, and you had to take him, I'd absolutely have no problem with that. No problem.
Have either of you looked at tight end Tyler Warren? Yes. And if you were picking 28th, I'd be fine with that. At 12, Tyler Warren is not for me. Anyone worth trading up for? If Graham's available at 8, do you go get him? If it doesn't cost too much, my thing about this draft is the premier. This is why Ashton Jeanty is so alive to be picked by the Cowboys. Here are the blue chippish prospects according to Jeff.
Chippish is good.
Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, Mason Graham, the end.
Yeah.
After that,
there's
nobody I'm going up for. I'm debating. I think Jalen Walker could be a star, and he could show up, and they can't figure out where the hell they're going to play him. Michael Williams could be great, the Georgia edge, or he could never figure out a bunch of pass rush moves and just kind of be a big, strong edge guy. Some of the guys I like the most that at 12, I would go, I can also draw you the path to that pick being bad.
Yeah.
It's just, that's this draft. And that's why I want to move back. Move me away from the guy who I'm going to be enamored with some tools and hoping for the best. And let me just pick the player. Let me pick Jahdae Barron at 29.
Yeah.
Instead of, I would take Will Johnson at 12, and I'd feel okay about that.
Will Johnson makes me a little nervous, and it made me feel a little bit better that when we first started our journey here, Jeff, that Will Johnson was a top 5 player. And I know that Daniel Jeremiah is talking to scouts. He had Will Johnson going after Barron. in his mock draft.
So I think Barron definitely had better tape this year. I would pick Johnson over Barron, but I would acknowledge I'm not picking the guy that when we turn on the tape right now had played better football this season. I would acknowledge it. I would say, but I think he's a as good or better mover with more size. And I like Barron.
Yeah. I do too. I like Barron a lot, and I like him better than I like Will Johnson. And I think it'll be interesting to see really how fast Will Johnson is, and the size is impressive. But the fact that Daniel Jeremiah had Barron over him is telling me that, and he even said it about Will Johnson. He called him one of the most polarizing players in this draft. And when he says that means I'm talking to scouts and they've got him all over the board.
Yeah.
Have him really good, and some don't have him as high as he initially was. On a lot of boards, like on Dane Brugler's initial top 50, I think he was a top 3 guy.
Yeah.
So
I do enjoy one thing about Will Johnson that I want to get out there, and this is from a guy who is still a Will Johnson guy, and it is more based off of a year ago and the fact that he's prototype size and movement for the position. Every tackle Will Johnson makes, because the first thing that I saw, you see people rank him in scouting reports. I saw somebody that's like, and he's a wonderful tackler. Every tackle Will Johnson tries to make is a cut block.
Yeah.
My man just goes, and sees what happens. He's not a good tackler.
Yeah, that happens too. If there's a couple of guys, you can watch this kid, Kobe Bryant, play for Kansas. Same type of player. I mean, like comes flying forward and boom, cut, doesn't wrap up, stuff like that.
It's for next time because we're running out of time and I'll get in trouble at work if I'm not there on time. I found my new tiny man, my new Ardarius Washington, Upton Stout at Western Kentucky. I found my new tiny DB. You want him on your team, go ahead and take him in the 3rd or 4th round. You want him on the team. He can play safety. He can play slot. He can do whatever you need. He's a little too small, and a little too small doesn't matter if you're a giant badass, and he is a giant badass. Confidence level in the right guard situation is something we just can't afford to. I would love to upgrade right guard. I would love to.
Sure.
They also have a million other things that they have to do. Wasn't there one other thing I wanted to sneak in? There's someone else I saw that I just wanted to tell you that I liked a lot. Oh, no, there's somebody that I wanted to knock down. Another guy that I'm just not going to be with the world on, that Kentucky corner, Hairston. If that's a top 50 pick, it ain't mine. That's all. I just want to get that out there.
We'll fight about him. We'll fight about him another day.
Brian, what do you think about Flournoy? You think he'll make a jump this year? Please, God, whether it's Flournoy or Mingo, somebody be decent. That's all we need.
Yeah. That's like I say, to me, I've been looking for Tolbert to make a jump for 3 years now.
Yeah,
it ain't happening.
All right, Brian, have a great day. I got to go to work. Brian,
all right, brother.
105.3 The Fan, Love the Star podcast, hangs out with Vach, all the different things, draft show, kicking ass, taking names, all the things. We love you. Crap. Thank you for the super chat, Marcus. Gang of 7, DeForest Buckner can still play.
I'll ask that. I'll ask about Buckner. I will ask if he can still play.
Bang! Look at that. All right, have a great day, everybody. Remember, be cool to people. We love you. Sorry if I